Welcome into Texans Today, everybody. I'm your host, Jeremy Chugs, and coming up on today's show, trade rumors are flying around the NFL from this guy right here, Mr. Adam Schefter and ESPN. They recently put out an article outlining all the possible trade targets around the NFL. No Texans were named, but a lot of interesting names that Nick Caserio could target. We'll look at that, and at the end of today's show, PFF actually dropped 4 guys that the Texans should target during the trade deadline. I'll tell you who they think the Texans should go after as we near that deadline. Before we get into all of that, a little bit of news and notes for you from yesterday. This actually happened after I put out my video yesterday on the channel, after I already filmed it. The Titans, they parted ways. They fired head coach Brian Callahan, and I mean, the writing was on the wall. We all saw this coming. The Texans played the Titans in week 4, and it was an easy dub. It was one of the easiest games that I've ever seen the Texans play. First half, it was a little competitive, but the second half, it was like varsity versus JV. So no surprise there. The Titans did go ahead and name Mike McCoy as their interim head coach. This from Tom Pelissero. McCoy, 53, was the Chargers head coach from 2013 to 2016, and most recently was a senior offensive assistant in Tennessee. So obviously the Titans, they will go throughout the rest of this year with the head coaching search. I don't believe Mike McCoy will get that job unless there's a miraculous turnaround in Tennessee. I expect them to be on the prowl for other head coach candidates. Just a little news and notes from our AFC South rival, as we will play the Titans again later on in this season. Now, 5 positions that I'm looking at from this Adam Schefter trade article. I'm going to tell you the players listed for each one of these positions that I think the Texans could possibly target as we near the trade deadline. Before I get into those names, go ahead and like the video. It worked the past 2 times the Texans have gotten dubs, so don't jinx it. Like the video if you want to beat the Seahawks this week. Go down and hit that thumbs up icon. The past 2 videos, we've gotten more than 800 likes, and we've gotten the dubs. So let's continue that train going. Hit that thumbs up icon, and let's get into these trade targets. First up, let's look at the running back position as outlined per Adam Schefter. These are the 4 names that he listed. Now, I'm surprised he didn't put Dameon Pierce within these guys, because I do think he's another trade target, but maybe he's not on the same level as a Breece Hall, Alvin Kamara, Jaylen Wright, or Devin Singletary, the former Houston Texan as well. These are, popular names around the NFL of guys who could be dealt at the running back position. A lot of Texans fans want Breece Hall, but see, I'm just not in that boat. I don't think the Texans should trade for a running back. I mean, in my opinion, team building wise, I think it's more safe to just roll with what you have and then draft a guy in the 2nd or 3rd round again next year. Because, Breece Hall, Jaylen Wright, those guys that you saw, Alvin Kamara, a lot of those guys were 2nd or 3rd round picks. So why not the Texans just do another shot at the dartboard and let Woody Marks cook? I don't think the Texans should trade for a running back. I don't think it's worth the draft capital to get a guy like a Breece Hall or Alvin Kamara. Nick Chubb, he's not going to, light up the scoreboard or anything, but he's a decent running back, and Woody Marks has shown a ton of potential. I'm okay with rolling with those guys. And also, there is the possible return of Joe Mixon towards the end of this year, who you're already paying his contract, so why not, hold out hope for Mixon? And if not, you have guys on this roster. There's also decent names in free agency still, so I wouldn't, give away draft capital for a running back. Personally, I don't think it's worth it. But maybe this question will sway your mind. Maybe if you have a low number, you'll say, Jeremy, we got to get a Breece Hall or an Alvin Kamara. Let me know. What's your confidence level in this Texans running back room if we don't see Mixon for the rest of the year? Which a lot of people are split on that. Half the people are saying we won't see Mixon. The other half saying we'll probably see him towards the end of the year. Scale it 1 to 10, though. Your confidence level in this Texans running back room. 1, no confidence. You think it's one of the worst running back rooms in the NFL. 10, you think we got the top running back tandem in the National Football League. Next up, tight end. And this is the position that I would prefer the Texans target at the trade deadline. Out of all the positions that you'll see on today's video, I'm looking at the tight end room. And Schefter name dropped 3 guys in particular. Mark Andrews, who we've talked about on the program before. David Njoku, we've also discussed him. But Chig Okonkwo from the Tennessee Titans. That's a name that we haven't discussed, and obviously it's an interdivision trade, so it's a little less likely, but we told you at the top of the show, the Titans just fired their head coach. Okonkwo, last year of his rookie deal. So if there's any trade that's possible in division, I think it's a trade like this. It helps the Texans out. The Titans get a little bit more draft capital going into next year for whatever new coach that they're going to get. And I talked with our Titans host. Only take about a 6th or 7th round pick. He said a 6. I said 7th, and he said, no, a 6. And I was like, okay, I guess. We'll go with the 6th round pick for Chig Okonkwo. I think it could definitely help out this Texans tight end room. You have Dalton Schultz. Kate Stover is a big question mark of when he'll return and how healthy he'll be coming off that hairline fracture in his foot. I think this could definitely help out this Texans offense. And I would be full steam ahead, full go if the Texans wanted to trade for Okonkwo. Now, coming up, this is the position a lot of y'all probably want to trade for, the offensive line. And there was 5 guys named by Adam Schefter in this article. I'm going to break those guys down and who could be an interesting option for Nick Caserio to look to deal for at the trade deadline. But hey, I couldn't do today's show if it wasn't for our amazing sponsor over at Prize Picks. This episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Prize Picks, they put their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. Prize Picks offers Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard, and more for quick and easy deposits into your account this football season. Join the millions upon millions of users and sign up for America's #1 fantasy sports app out there. And if you're looking for, possibly some inspiration, you don't know what lineup to put in this week, I got you covered for Monday night. This is my lineup I got going. And if you think I'm rooting against the hometown team, our Houston Texans, you're thinking wrong. I'm going less on the JSN receiving yards. I think Stingley is going to lock him up. Nico Collins, it's a demon pick, but I'm going for it more on the rushing and receiving touchdowns at 0.5. And Sam Darnold, he's been good this year, but he hasn't played a defense like this Texans team. So give me the less on his passing yard. You can use my lineup or make your own. And the thing is, you can follow other Prize Picks players directly on the app and copy their lineups as well in one click, whether it's a friend like me, we're all friends out here, a celebrity partner, or just someone who picks you like. Hit the follow button and check out every lineup they create in the new feed tab on Prize Picks. So get started today. Download the app and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. All right, let's look at the offensive line now and the possible trade targets that Schefter outlined in this article via ESPN. Here are his trade targets. Evan Neal, and then apparently the entire Browns offensive line is just fire sale up for grabs. It's an estate sale in Cleveland because they have the entire interior. Joel Bitonio, Ethan Pocic, Wyatt Teller, guard, center, guard, all there listed. And then Kevin Zeitler, somebody who I actually wanted the Texans to sign in free agency. He ended up signing with the Tennessee Titans. He is also listed on the trade block. And really, there's one reason why you would consider any of these trades. It's if you don't believe in this guy. Because right guard, the Texans, per PFF, they actually have a top 5 rated guard in Ed Ingram. Jake Andrews, I thought he's played well at center, has been up and down, but I like what I've seen from Andrews. Obviously, you have Titus Howard, who's played well at right tackle. The rookie second-round pick, Ariante Ursary, is holding down the left tackle spot. So the only position I could possibly see you wanted to trade for is left guard with Juice Scruggs. Laken Tomlinson, he did not play up to par. Juice Scruggs, he gets into the game, and 2 games against inferior opponents with the Ravens with all their injuries, and then the Tennessee Titans with being the Tennessee Titans. Juice Scruggs has played well. I'd like to see him play up against the Seahawks this week. This week will be a barometer test to see how good Scruggs is and if the Texans truly do need to look at other resources outside the organization to fill that left guard spot. That will be a key player to watch this Monday Night Football up against the Seahawks. I'll be looking at Juice Scruggs, and if he plays poorly, I would definitely consider one of those guys that you just saw up on screen. Maybe one of the Cleveland Browns guys, either Teller or Bitonio, to trade for and fill in this Texans offensive line for the rest of the season. Next up, let's go to the defensive side, corner. And he only listed 2 names. not sure how likely these names are because the Texans, they're good with their starting cornerback unit. They're looking more for depth. So I don't think that fits with either of these guys. Roger McCreary from the Tennessee Titans or Riq Woolen from the Seattle Seahawks, who we play next Monday. I don't think those are as likely, especially because I think both these teams are looking for a mid-round pick. And if I'm the Texans, I'm not spending a mid-round pick on a backup player. You have Jalen Smith, who you drafted this year out of USC in the 3rd round. He's played well. He's been on and off the injury report, but it's just depth. That's all I'm looking for at this point until somebody gets injured. But, knock on wood if you're with me out there. I hope that doesn't happen and we don't have to look at an option like a McCreary or a Riq Woolen. And the other spot would be the safety room. I think we're good on the D-line. I think we're good in the linebacker room. And these were the 2 names that popped up on Schefter's article. Kyle Duggar and Tony Adams. Once again, I think the Texans are decent. They have a lot of guys coming back from injury. Jalen Reed, the rookie out of Penn State, he is coming back. Obviously, C.J. Gardner-Johnson was released from this squad, and I think since that's happened, you've seen Kalen Bullock and MJ Stewart really step up. We don't need C.J. Gardner-Johnson, and you have Jimmy Ward coming back. You have Jalen Reed, the rookie out of Penn State, who impressed a lot in the preseason. He'll be coming back as well. Another position where I think it's more depth. I don't know if you need to go out and get either of those 2 guys. If I'm the Texans, I'm sticking where I'm at right now, and maybe, if you need anybody, there's still Justin Simmons in free agency. Producer Jack, how is Justin Simmons still available? I don't know, but I'd much rather do that than go ahead and trade for somebody at this point in the season. If I'm the Texans and I desperately need safety help. I told you PFF, they also dropped an article, and they listed the Texans in a possible suitor for 4 different players. These are those 4 guys. Jamal Adams at linebacker. Don't necessarily agree with that. I think we're pretty good at the linebacker spot, but hey, that's just me. Chig Okonkwo, who I said was my number 1 guy. I would love for the Texans to trade for Okonkwo. Okonkwo to H-Town. Get the hashtag trending. It's probably too long, but either way. Geno Stone, defensive back from the Cincinnati Bengals, and then Breece Hall. The Texans linked with Breece Hall is that is go-to for all these content creators, all these people who cover the NFL. It's like Breece Hall, Houston Texans. They have, Joe Mixon. So, once again, I don't think a trade for a running back is likely. I'd much rather trade for a tight end, but these are the 4 names that PFF listed for your Houston Texans. That's all I have on today's show, folks. If you want to hit me up on Twitter, discuss any of these trade options, my DMs are open at Jeremy Chugs. And if you made it this far in the video, we're doing something right. So go down and hit that subscribe button for daily Texans videos all year long. And join me this Monday night. It's going to be a late night, 9 p.m. Central Time kickoff. Texans, Seahawks. I'll be live for every single second of it.